We go on the stage. There we are. All right, guys. How are you guys this evening? Wanda, Viola, and Dale. How is everyone tonight? Go ahead if you are just joining us. Go ahead and put where you're coming from. That helps us know, like specifically what you, again, your growing zone, that sort of thing. So Dale is in Southeast Ohio, so that's probably pretty much the same growing zone from us. But yeah, welcome guys. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Tonight we're just going to talk a little bit about what's going on the farm and a little bit about fall planning. I think that was the topic that they put out there. So if you guys have questions for us about that, we can talk a little bit about how we do fall planning. And
Florida.
And Florida. Now that's a little bit further south. Although, did you know that actually they are starting to plant strawberries down there within another 2 weeks?
Really?
Because, well, they're going to start producing January, into February.
Wait, so they plant them now?
Yeah.
That's a pretty quick season.
Yeah.
And then they pull?
Because basically, like we finished planting 10 days ago.
Mm-hmm.
But
ours will overwinter.
Ours will start slowing down because we're so much colder. So, right now they're actually looking really good, but they're going to start slowing down, stop. And they won't start again until probably late March. But in Florida, they're in now. They're going to put a lot of water on to keep them alive, and they'll keep growing and growing and growing and growing. So they never stop like ours do.
I see. They never go into a dormant stage.
Correct. Well, they might go a tiny bit at the really far north. It's just going to slow them down, really, but it's not going to be that much dormancy. So,
do a lot of growers in Florida? Sorry, this is like just me asking. Do a lot of growers in Florida do like the annual bed system?
Yeah, that's mostly what Florida.
So they would pull them when
after
they're done growing.
Yeah, they're either double crop them. Sometimes they'll double crop down there. But in all honesty, it's not huge down there. But so they either do plugs or they'll do cutoffs. So cutoffs are actually like plants that are in the ground growing. They'll mow the tops off. They'll dig them, and they're green plants, and they actually just stick them right into the ground, and they start taking off.
Okay, you got Illinois, Pittsburgh, Martha's Vineyard, and Viola's happy you pronounced her name correctly.
Oh, good. Melissa is in South Carolina. So why don't we give you guys a little weather update? So we are right now.
We live in the desert.
We do live in the desert now. We are approaching probably 10 weeks, and 10 or 12 weeks, we've only had 0.4 of an inch. So there's actually like big cracks starting to form in the different ground. Actually, at the other farm, there's a lot of cracks over there. Here at this farm, there are some cracks too. So it is
Ohio.
It is a bit of a challenge.
Who also lives in the desert now.
Yes. Well, it is a challenge getting fall crops in. So literally for us to go ahead and put the strawberries in, we irrigated the entire field. We just kind of worked our way across, putting water down before we laid plastic, because if you put your plastic down when it's dry as a bone, it doesn't hold well.
Yeah.
So we did a good job. We got the plastic down. Now we're chopping straw and putting down teff, keeping that. But I mean, that is an important thing.
Teff in between the rows.
Yes. I think I maybe have some pictures of this.
We did that
last
year.
Pictures. Yeah.
It worked pretty well.
Yes. Let me see if we can find.
Ooh, sorry for all the yawning.
It is past our bedtime. No, it's not. No.
It's just.
So yeah, let me show you this picture, guys. Share screen. Here we go. There we go. So this is our first section of strawberries. This is the bare roots that went in about 6 weeks ago, maybe 7 weeks ago. And this is teff that's growing between them. So teff will winter kill. It's a warm season grass. And basically what we're trying to, you can see how it's kind of been pushed down in the middle, and that's because we ran the tractor over it. So what we're trying to do is trying to figure out how to crimp and kill or mow this grass with a machine of some sort. So that's what we're kind of working on right now.
Because you don't want it to take over.
Okay, so yeah, so last year we did this, and one half of the field did have the teff, one didn't.
Right.
And we felt that part of the field that didn't have the teff did get a little bit bigger crowns. The yields on the whole field, people were very happy, although I will say it felt that the field that didn't have the teff as much did yield better.
Mm.
And again, because it's starting to shade out the plants, and that's the problem. Now, what you also notice is right down the middle of the bed is a row of lettuce. And so we will, that will provide a fair amount of our fall lettuce. This entire section is now lettuce between all the different plants of strawberries. But our plants didn't look great in this section, or the bare root plants that we put out did not look great. So we lost about 30%. So that's why we interplanted with other plants. But the problem is, because this is such a late variety, the other varieties we grow are either earlier or later. So it really caused issue. It's going to cause issues next year with, you'll have a plant every so often that's just not doing anything. All of a sudden it'll come on.
I see. It is what it is, though.
It is what it is. Next year, we will ensure that we take better care of our.
Are these the ones that didn't get watered that one day?
No,
okay.
They're bare roots.
Oh,
bare roots are just more challenging to deal with.
Gotcha.
So, Suzanne's saying we have a very dry time in Pittsburgh, unusual, beautiful, warm days, cloudless skies. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we are. That's what we're having. I mean, today was 90 degrees. Put a lot of water down today. There was so much dust. We were standing there chopping straw, and there was dust devils all over the place. Mm-hmm. Do I have any pictures of the straw chopping? I might have a little video of it here. Let's see if I got a video of it. I guess I don't. I swear I took a video of it the other day. Yeah, but not here. One thing I will note, and then we will get into winter cropping or fall cropping, is this is we are playing around with the new Sumo Japanese irrigation. And what? Yeah, they can see this. See? Right there. Sorry. I will say we are very impressed with this. Now, the only thing I would say is that everyone, when they say, oh, you have 100-foot beds, you should have a 100-foot watering thing. I say no. I say you should have a 110-foot watering thing, so you have 5 feet over on either end. Yeah. That just keeps your entire field wet. Let's say you use a wobbler or a meganet or a mini wobbler, those are always round. And so the problem with that is that you have circles. You don't get your corners. You get too far on the ends. You make puddles in your pathways. With this, it's exactly the shape of what you need to do. And this run right here is 200 feet long. I think this takes about, I forget the amount of gallons per foot or feet per gallon, but it's actually a pretty high amount of water it uses. It irrigates really fast. So I think this one went for about 2 hours, and that puts on at least an inch of rain. Not that this matters at all, but it's very pretty. It is, yeah. So we've been very happy with this irrigation. Now, I will say a couple of things it's not good for is if you have tall crops. Like those beets right there are technically too tall. That's why you can see I pushed it over into the radish bed. Yeah. So otherwise it would just get knocked down. Well, just get stopped. Get stopped. So that's why I put it in. You can't really put this up on anything too. Viola got a lot of rain. Hail? Wow. She's bragging. 1.5 hours of large hail. That is nasty. Oh, okay. It's challenging. Never mind. She's not bragging. Yes. So again, in the background there, you can see those are carrots over here. These are the carrots that the deer are eating. These are beets right here. Okay. And then this is a late bed of lettuce. We just had an open bed of lettuce. That's why an open bed of plastic. That's why we just planted lettuce on it. The deer are going to like that too. Well, that'll be fenced. Yeah, you're right. But we're going to fence. Oh, okay. We're applying for permits as we speak. So permits. The deer are going to meet the freezer real soon. Oh, our freezer? Freezers in the area. Janelle was not happy about that. Who? Janelle was not happy about that. Anyway, but yeah, fall planning. It's better than getting decimated. Yeah, so fall planning. I think the thing, a lot of farms. Here, pull this over so we can see the chat. Oh, you want to pull that over? Remove that and then pull this over into the chat. So I think for us, obviously, because we're a year-round farm, we plan for year-round growing. And I think that's very different than some farms which grow a big spring crop and then, midsummer they look and say, oh, I could put some fall crops in. We don't think that way. We think in the annual cycle. And so the fall planting typically starts happening in November, December when we're planning for the full year.
Right. Well, and because we have year-round CSA.
And year-round storage.
Right.
So yeah, this last 2024, we spent an inordinate amount of money investing in a very large cooler system for the farm. So we do have this ability. And this year, we were selling carrots through into August. From last year's carrot crop. And so, yeah, they were harvested in October, November, and put into storage. And we were washing them up. Now, they weren't super sweet. They weren't a great carrot, but they were a carrot.
Were they the rainbow carrots?
No, there was rainbow and regulars.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, they were still carrot. They weren't bitter or anything.
No, nothing was wrong.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think that's the biggest thing for us is you really don't make it be an afterthought. And so, we build a big spreadsheet that we use for our planning. And so every single week we print out what is supposed to go in the ground. And then that is what gets sent out to folks in the field to work on. So obviously you got a couple different categories of fall planting too. You got your major crops, which have to be planted at very specific times to get into the ground. Like our carrots, seed those by July 10th. Our brassicas, they need to be in the ground typically by August 1st. We like to seed those July 1st, and then they're going to go in late July, early August. But that's at the latest. So you got those crops that if you mess those up, you're going to be in trouble. But then you're having the more forgiving crops, which are like your winter radishes, your lettuces, even your kales and collards. They are a lot shorter day, so they can go in a bit later. Like right now, pretty much the only crops we're still planting radishes, turnips. Turnips are probably very close to the end. Lots of spinach. Again, lettuce is going in every single week, and we're doubling and tripling upper lettuce plantings because again, as we go into the fall, your days get shorter, and so you either need to put your plantings more frequently than a week. So you do like a planting on a Monday, and then a Wednesday, and then a Friday. We just would plant the entire planting on a Monday, and it'd be 3 times the size because we're just not going to go out as often.
So that you have enough.
So that we have enough, yeah. And so we're always, and again, because we're a year-round
people want their lettuce.
CSA and farm store, again, we're trying to go for that entire aspect of things. I mean, if you are only at a farmer's market till, let's say, end of October, your last planting is, you don't want to make it too big or else you're just going to lose it. So that's why we are, planting all the way about 45 weeks a year. We plant lettuce. So we'll plant up to typically like early October, which means that, our tunnels have to be switched and swapped pretty fast. And then we're going to go into greens. And then if we do direct seed Asian greens, that's pretty flexible too. We can go up to the middle of October with those. So basically what they say, and this may or may not work for you, is that take your last 10-hour day of light, which for us is, let me actually pull this day calculator. There's a couple different calculators here, folks, and we'll go ahead and pull one up for you, so you guys can look at it. Actually, it is here. Let's see here.
Oh, really?
Well,
that's interesting to me.
No, that's not. This is not what it's looking for here. I don't remember. So maybe someone in the chat knows exactly what I'm talking about here. But oh, here we go. This is what you guys want to see here. Let's go ahead and present our share stuff. Here we go. Screen window. Here you go there. So yeah, you can just kind of look right here about how long the days are, that sort of thing here. And it gives you a day-night length. There you go. So yeah, you can see the total length right there. Night, daylight. So it's 12 hours right here. And then once we get into November, we lose our 10 hours right there. Yeah, middle of November right there. So that is when, and then you can see we literally have about December, and then we get our 10 hours back here.
It's so interesting. I would have thought it would be
back in January.
interesting.
So yeah, we only have about 2 months. So, and again, thing for us,
Makes me feel better.
what?
The days are 10 hours or less than 10 hours in that
Yeah.
short amount of time. It feels longer, but that's cool.
Yeah. So what that does too is that also means because we're trying to have lettuce year round, we could heat during that time, but because the light is so short, your heating really doesn't do a whole lot of good. So during that period of time, we are going to go ahead and keep our greenhouses set at usually about 36 degrees, just above freezing. We just don't want them, because freezing does stress plants. And again, we don't want to stress plants in the greenhouse. Our goal is to keep the plants happy. So we're going to keep it at 36 degrees, keep it dry in there. And we have an Orisha system, so we use that to kind of keep the humidity low. So you'll go out there in the morning about 8 o'clock and the vents will be open and it'll be dumping the humid air from the night. Which is very disconcerting because you're literally throwing, BTUs out, but it does keep those plants alive and better quality. So yeah, but then look at this in June here when we are, what day is this? June 11th. The end of strawberry season is literally our longest days of the year.
Well, because isn't the longest day of the year the 21st or the 20th?
Daylight 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. That is about right. Yeah. Silver twilight is 5:30 to 9:40. Yeah, that is about right. And then the difference in nautical twilight, I guess maybe that's interesting.
Yeah, that is interesting.
And again, I do not understand the difference between astronomical twilight and the nautical twilight and silver twilight. But anyway,
if you're out at sea,
I guess you can see. But so that's kind of we're planning off of that. But what they say is that that 10 hours is kind of when things will stop growing completely. And so basically you want to count the days. If it's like a spinach is 30 days before that, 30 days, the growth, you would add another 50%. So it'd be 45 days.
Yeah.
So
that would make sense why we have issues sometimes in January with the lettuce because
Correct.
it's coming. It's not doing anything.
Correct. So you have to.
So you've harvested all of your growth and it's not continuing.
Yeah, you have to stockpile all your growth here.
Yeah.
So if we look here, go back to that 10-hour day right here. Oh, wait a minute. Right there. So that is November 14th. So let's back up 30 days. So that would be October 14th. And then back up. So October 1st is really, if you want to get nice full-size spinach, I have 12 days to get it in the ground.
Wow.
Now, if you transplant it, you have a little bit more time because you do have some of that. So we have a fair amount of transplanted spinach in the greenhouse that we will be putting out. But we will try to be getting that in here pretty quickly because we don't want to have half-grown lettuce. Because you never want to go into the winter too, the depth of the winter with half-grown crop because then you're wasting space.
Well, that makes sense.
So we will have to get a fair amount of lettuce. Now, again, we do a fair amount of paper potting in the fall, and then we will also go ahead and do some landscape fabrics. But the thing is, this year we have the steamer, so we will be able to steam the greenhouse, and we will be able to not have chickweed, which is going to be very nice.
Do you have any concerns about doing all of that?
No, we'll be good.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I know we're not talking about strawberries, but people are getting their strawberries eaten by voles and groundhogs down at the bottom there.
Let's go ahead and go through the questions here.
I don't know if there's any questions so much. It's just Cleveland,
Statements.
Ohio, dog.
Yeah, Brenda's from Tennessee. Problems with voles eating my sweet potatoes. Yes, Melissa, you need. Okay, so here's the cure for that, and this is something that really needs implemented. Typically, when the vines start to really vine over in August. Eat the skins and leave what is closest to the surface. We have the opposite problem. We have where they typically will just eat down to the top of it and leave the rest.
Well, so they're edible still, but they're not sellable.
Correct. Yes. But what you need to do is there is a product called what's the bait blocks? The organic bait blocks.
Oh. I don't remember.
We've got them out. I can see the thing they come in. But there's organic bait blocks, which basically what we do is we take cheap. Actually, hand me that right there. The toolbox.
The old toolbox?
Yeah. All right. So this is just a regular toolbox. You can buy cheap ones at, let's say, like Tractor Supply, not Tractor Supply, Harbor Freight. Drill a 1-inch hole in this corner and then a 1-inch hole in this corner. And you'll put the organic bait blocks inside, and you then put a little flag on this, just so you can make sure you can see where it is in the field. And then we'll just put, these are basically bait stations, and we'll put 3 or 4 on through the field every year, and then every couple of weeks we'll go in and replace the bait, and that is pretty darn effective on the voles. I mean, obviously getting a dog or a good cat is super helpful too. But again,
we have a good cat now.
We have a good cat now. Yes.
Kill a rabbit.
Oh, we got a rabbit the other day.
Yeah, Bigfoot rabbit.
Just trying to look through here the stuff we used in the past. Let's see, organic.
It's not that bait block.
No. Bait blocks. Aggregate 3. Yeah, this is the stuff. Here, let me show you what we got, guys. This is stuff we use. There we go, right here. This stuff. I don't have to get it from organic or anything like that, but this is the best stuff here. I highly recommend it. And it works really well. It says it only kills rats and mice, but we do see voles go after it too. What it does, it mobilizes calcium into its blood. It gives them heart failure.
Okay.
Yeah. So I don't think they've listed for voles, but we've definitely found it works for voles. So the other thing you can do, if you don't want to use the bait blocks, you can still drill those little holes, but then you just put a mouse trap right inside the hole. When it goes in, it just gets grabbed by the trap. The problem is then you have to go out and you have to check it every single day, or else you're going to have skeletons in there, and you don't want skeletons in there because it's a nasty experience. So that's why we like the bait chunks instead. They just go in there, they chew on those, and then they just go in and they don't exist any longer after a while. So that's our preferred method out there to keep them. But the other huge aspect too is going to be if these long season crops that you have, if you leave weeds in the area. So we always find that we will start spacing rows out further. Like our carrots and beets, we do 3 rows on a bed, which means they're at 18 inches apart. And so that means that there's still a lot of daylight and just, being able to see into that field. Eventually, right at the end, it will completely block out. You can't see much. But if you do keep those rows further apart, rodents tend to not want to run and hide in between them because, rodents are nasty. And they can cause a lot of damage to a crop. Like golden beets, it almost gave up growing them because the rodents were so bad on them.
Just the goldens.
They're sweeter. So that's the kind of challenge there. So keep them out, and sometimes that works. But also weeds at the end of the field. So keeping all the weeds trimmed back, cleaned up, any weedy areas near the field cleaned up as well. Just again, make it hard for them to get in there without being seen by the local resident hawks and rabbits. I'm sorry, not rabbits, cats and dogs. So that definitely helped.
Somebody's asked about the steamer. Someone's asking about thoughts for garden boxes in mid-Florida.
Yes. So on the steamer, I think I've got some pictures here. Let's see if I can pull up some photos of what steaming can do for you. Well, I mean, I think this beet field is a really good picture right here. Let's go ahead and
These are really pretty.
There we go. This beet field was never hand weeded.
Wow.
So there was no machine cultivation. The beets were seeded and then they were just left alone. And that's what the field looks like. Again, you can't really see it, but there's literally no weeds there. Let's see what else we've got here. I know I've got some other pictures of an experience like this.
That bean field's pretty weed free, but it looks a mess, so you can't really tell.
No, I've got a better picture of the bean field.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, let me go find that better picture of the bean field. I thought I had a good picture of the bean field. It looks like I'm missing a fair amount of photos. Because I took some pictures of the end of the bean field so you could see exactly like where the weeds were and the weeds weren't. And it appears that these pictures never got transferred over here. Because this is not, that's not what that is. Maybe we can see this. Well, I guess in this picture here, this part of the bean field here was treated with the steamer. This side of the bean field over here, which let's see if you can see this side of the bean field here was not treated. And you can just see the weeds right there. So what steamer will do is that and I can show a picture of the steamer. I think I've got a picture of the steamer here too. Oh, here you go. This is a better picture of it.
There you go.
All right, so this is the steamer right here. They're getting ready to steam this section right here. You can see that the steamer ran from across here, went right across here, and it went down here. So this was the edge of the steamer right there. And
it didn't come all the way to the...
It did not go through the path. So basically, this is the edge of the steamer.
But it didn't come here.
Correct,
Okay.
yes, and it went across here. So you can literally see these weeds stayed, this area was steamed.
Amazing.
So it's pretty darn, you can see exactly where the steaming was or wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
It's a really clear line delineation. I think that was all the pictures I had. Oh, much better picture right here.
Wow.
So as you can see in this picture here, this is where the steamer edge was. And the steamer did basically this section right here. And you can see basically perfectly clean field. And then everything else was just pretty weedy. So, yeah.
How does it compare to a flame weeder?
So the flame weeder gets the weeds after they come up. And again, you can miss the window of opportunity there, which can be quite a problem. The steamer, you are destroying the weeds in the soil. So what you do is you would go ahead and steam the soil. Then the next day you'd come in and seed, and there would be you would never have to worry about just getting that flame weeder just right, because the steamer took all the weeds out. Now, again, you can steam different depths. We definitely recommend as little steam as needed to just kill what you need to kill. In our experience, it's not worth steaming for like a lot longer and a lot deeper trying to get perennial weeds, because many times those perennial weeds are deep enough to escape the steamer. So
and then you're just kind of screwing up your soil.
Well, you're screwing up your soil biology in that case. So you want to steam as little as possible, then come back in with some biology. And let's see if I got a better picture of the steamer.
Because in that, when the kids and I were picking beans the other day, even in that steamed section, I was like, oh, there's still some, what is that? I can't remember the name of that weed that's kind of like purple at the bottom and real thick stalked with the broad leaves. Burdock?
No, we don't have burdock out there. So this is what the steamer looks like right here. It is it's a very expensive piece of machinery, as you can tell.
If you'd like to rent it.
Yes, we are renting it out. And the problem is with renting it out is it's almost impossible to insure. So we literally actually still can't rent it out because we're still trying to figure out the insurance. We have for 3 weeks.
It's like on the list of things.
Very few
takes
people.
forever.
Yeah, very few people will write a policy for this type of machinery. So
Can't we get ChatGPT to write that?
So
No.
No, you can't. So anyway, yeah, I don't have a picture of actually like steaming the beds, which is kind of unfortunate.
I thought you had a picture of it all set up in one of the hoop houses or greenhouses.
Maybe we do even earlier in the season.
Yeah. Is that not?
No,
that's something else.
This is a picture of that we were trying Farmer's Friend, great company located in Tennessee. They're always trying to innovate with new ideas and stuff. And they sent us this paper mulch instead of like a woven fabric, and it was pre-punched, and we tried it, and it's just not strong enough. It got ripped out very quickly, and this was a late night picture that didn't quite get enough focus time, but you can see there that it's just kind of crumpled up there. So unfortunately that is not a viable option, as it were. Yes, that is correct, as we say there. I'm gonna go back and look and see if I can find a picture of it in
so many random photos.
One of the hoop houses, but I just don't think we have it.
Maybe I'm just remembering a picture in my mind.
Yeah, don't see it here.
Okay.
Nope, not available.
Okay.
So this, how deep and long, so it really always comes down to the delta T. So if you are starting, the ground temperature is 80 degrees and you want to go to 160, that is significantly shorter flame period, steaming period than if the ground is 40 degrees and trying to go to 160. So obviously it's ideal to do it during the summer if you can. That's when, if you have extra open ground, go through and just steam that, get that taken care of. But we set the probes about 2 inches below the grade, and we hope to get there we want to get to 160 and keep it there for 20 minutes. And then that will take out pretty much all the stuff we need to take out.
The company that makes the steamer is out of Canada, yeah?
No, it's out of Minnesota, maybe, or Wisconsin. One of those far north ones.
Do you know what the name is?
Well, it's a Sioux steamer.
Sioux steamer.
Yes.
Yeah.
But if you want one, reach out to us, because I would really like the commission on selling a full steamer. Yes. So Harvick Farms is asking, what seeding tool did you use for your beets? For those beets, we actually used a Earthway. We had a window we needed to get beets into, but I will say on some of the seeds we did use a Jang style seeder, but the raw seed, I believe we used a Earthway style. Don't really love it, but it's very quick to set up. We were trying to fit it in between some rain storms, and there was like a 30-minute period that it was dry enough. And so I was able to just get out there with that and get it in the ground. We had to come back and thin some of them. So, I mean, that is the issue when you do use an Earthway, is typically you are having to thin the beets. We even have some custom plates that we've made, but it's just it doesn't singulate like the more expensive vacuum seeders do, or even the roller seeders like a Jang. So, yeah, some of the ones were done with the Jang. Some of them were done with the pelleted seeds were absolutely done with the Jang, because the Earthway just shreds those seeds. So yeah, let's get back to Kat Anderson is saying the box. She's got some raised bed boxes. They're up off the ground, but the squirrels love them. Tore up the carrots. What can I plant this time of year? My tomatoes got scorched. Only thing that is growing is flowers and succulents. Yeah, right now may be a little too early. I might wait a little bit longer, maybe 1st of October. You could probably throw some greens in, even some like kale and collards and Swiss chard. It's probably too late to go after like more tomatoes and stuff because I'm assuming you're still pretty warm down there in Texas. So, sorry, in Florida. Yeah. But yeah, the problem with raised beds that they're up off the ground is they just get so warm. And so if you take your legs off and get them back to the ground, that's going to cool them down a bit at least because now you have some cooling effect coming up from the ground. So that is the issue. It's just it's so warm. You could try something like New Zealand spinach. That is something that, or purslane. Both those crops do quite well in the summer heat down in Florida. Okra
almost looks like a succulent.
Yes. Okra is another one, but I really don't like okra. So
But she might like
some people are weird and do.
What don't you like about okra? Is it slimy?
There's really just no really good way to eat it unless you put it in gumbo or if you deep fry it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the only. I mean, you can pickle it too, but I've never. It's just weird. Again, I did not grow up in the Deep South, so forgive me if I am offending all your Deep South sensibilities. But it's just not my favorite. Now, what I will say is back in New York, we could sell, so beets the carrots in New York, we would grow like 40 to 60. So 40% beets, 60% carrots. Here in Ohio, we're lucky if we can sell 1 to 10. So just like no one likes beets down here. And back in New York, I mean, we love beets. I think the beets up in New York did taste better.
You think so?
They think it was cooler and they just enjoyed the coolness.
Yeah.
Now this year we probably we're using a lot of AEA, and actually we just took a look at the nutrient, what they're dialing in for the nutrients. So our goal is to really sweeten them up and have some really good beets, and maybe that'll increase sales. But they are looking really nice.
I love beets.
Bazem is saying we love okra. That's good on you. That is absolutely. We grow okra. I like to pick it. I think the flowers are stupendous and beautiful, but just not a fan of it.
It is good fried. I think I don't do it because it just kind of feels
It's a lot of work.
Yeah, like a waste of time. But it's delicious.
Blake is saying, question, I want to find out what types of crops I could grow in zone 6 for a fall or winter garden in Chicago. So Blake, it's a little bit, doing a 3 red okra varieties for Seed Savers Exchange. Yeah, I'd love to see what your results are on that, which one you like the best. All right, what type of crops should I grow in zone 6 for a fall or winter garden in Chicago? So right now, you could direct seed lettuce, you could direct seed spinach, radishes, any of the Asian greens, typically broccoli and kale. If you get some plants right now, there's a possibility you could push some short days like a gypsy to get something, but I highly doubt it is mid-September. If you want to stay outside all winter, I highly recommend spinach. That is typically going to be one of your best crops. It should do really, really well for you. And I'm just disappointed we didn't get spinach in about 4 weeks ago. We tried, we had some trays. It just did not do super well. It was so hot. Yes, Brenda's saying okra is a southern thing, and we are trying to learn how to prepare beets. We know there must be a way that we will like them. I actually like beets best pickled.
Oh.
Now, obviously, with pickling, sometimes they put sugar with those, so that may be part of the reason. But you're right, Brenda. To me, actually, Pamela said roasting. So roasting, I think, is absolutely one of the best ways to do it.
Although I will steam them in the Instant Pot and then put a lot of butter and salt on them, and everybody seems to enjoy those too.
Yeah, that does work too. Yeah.
I've done a balsamic with feta and some like toasted pecans.
Now that's probably the best way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'll even put like I'll zest an orange up in there.
So I think the yellow tastes the best, the golden tastes the best, then your good red beet, and finally, and then a Chilgia beet. I just don't think they're as good.
They're beautiful, but they're not as flavorful.
And then the worst are the white. I feel like the white are really poor taste there.
Yeah.
And Kat said if boxes are on ground, cats use them for their personal. Yes, we've experienced
We
that.
understand.
What we find is you can actually go on to like Amazon and you can buy the like a bird netting and just drape that over the beds, and the cats try to climb on top of that. They just get stuck and they just leave, and they just learn not to come
I
back.
get frustrated.
Yes. So
We should do
yes.
that to the sandbox.
Well, yes. Oh, actually, we have to talk about the barn because I have to go up and clean out because there is this area that the kitty is deciding to use his personal litter box out there.
Oh.
So tomorrow that needs to happen. It has to happen.
Okay.
And then they have to somehow ban him from that area because he's causing problems.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, we had a cat that just showed up that adopted us, and so now we've
said
taking care of him.
Yeah.
Yes.
Here we are.
Blake said, if I can't plant my stuff in the ground during this time of this month, could I plant the rest of my stuff in the greenhouse, such as kale, cabbage, and turnips? So cabbage would probably be too late to plant either inside or outside. Kale, you probably could go ahead and get that in right now. If you put it in right now, you'd probably do okay. And I think your turnips would probably be okay as well too. So I think those both would probably work for you.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And Viola saying planted beets, which I love 2 times this year, and I've got nothing. Or where has been so sad, they get about 3 inches tall, and then that's it. So Viola, I would have to see pictures of those beets. So that'd be super helpful if we could just kind of see what's going on with them. Typically, it's a nutrient that just run out of nutrients, so I usually can identify it from pictures. But I also like to see if you got a soil test. If you got a soil test, then we can go ahead and kind of look at what nutrients they may be missing and kind of recommend something for that. So, yeah. Yeah. I think that's all the questions and the things. Anything else you wanted to talk about, Savannah? Blake, so cabbage typically would have to go in if Chicago Zone 6. Cabbage would have to go in typically sometime early August is going to be your best bet. We typically do our first one like the last week of July for our late cabbages, and then our short day cabbages, like we have tender sweet. That typically is a shorter day cabbage, so that will go in a little bit later. But we really definitely want to be wrapping those all up by mid-August because they just don't have enough degree days to get growing. But like lettuce, you can plant lettuce now. That would still work out just fine for you. And typically Zone 6, I would say you probably could plant lettuce up until another week or so, or maybe another week and a half in the greenhouse and be okay. So, yes.
And salt the beets, Kat, before you roast them. Oil and salt.
Yeah.
What about garlic and strawberries, onions, all the things that you plant this time of year?
Because we plant for next year. So obviously we're done planting strawberries. I think we put our last one in on the 6th of September. Mm-hmm. I don't have a picture.
But then when would you do garlic?
Usually end of October. Mm-hmm. Garlic and onions. Yes. Trying to see if we have a picture of the last day that we planted strawberries. This could have been it right here. Maybe this was it.
What day was this?
No, this is just a picture. This was a Simon picture of the field or Kate picture of the field.
You have so many good ones. There's that puppy.
Oh, here we go. This was the last. No, it wasn't because
you've got
all
plastic.
Of that's not planted either.
Yeah.
But I actually think that we planted all of this in one day.
We finished this day.
Yeah. So I think it was the 4th or the 6th. Yeah. So Viola, if turnips planted the same day did awesome, then we definitely got a soil issue.
A nutrient issue?
A nutrient issue. So I would probably say it's probably a boron. Beets really like their boron. So you definitely want to look into that. But let's get a good soil test. And then we so you said you already got a soil test. It's good. Then I fertilize once a month. So you're going to have to send me pictures. The other thing would be, are you thinning your beets? Because you definitely want, we find, thumb between every beet is kind of the rule of thumb for us. And they will then just go ahead and push wider in the row. So definitely think about that. That might do what you're trying to do there.
Is that just because they eat up their nutrients all in the same spot?
Well, if they're too close, they just can't grow.
They just
give
up.
Well, there's just, again, yeah. So Blake, if you're looking for a winter, so the stuff you're planting now will be hard. You will be harvesting that for winter.
Like your spinach.
Yes, so like your spinach. So if you plant spinach now, you will, start being able to harvest in about 6 to 7 weeks, and then you should be able to plant that and harvest that all winter.
What other things?
Like radishes are not gonna do well over winter for you. So like if you're doing outside, really what you can do is you can do kale, collards, and spinach. If you have a tube house or a tunnel, you could do some Asian greens, the Tokyo Bacana, the different tatsoi, that sort of thing. All the spinaches will work for you. You can do lettuces; those are fine too.
But you could also plant like garlic for next year if you wanted.
Well, yeah, but that's outside. So we
okay.
plant that in again late October and early November and get that in the ground. So the problem is that your anything that is frost sensitive will not be for a winter garden. So obviously beans, squash, tomatoes, peppers, eggplant, potatoes, all of those are out. Anything that is very frost hardy, you probably can do a better job of planting. So we started picking beans off this section probably about a week before this, or 5, so like September 1st. So we've been in there for like almost 2.5 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
We do have a planting coming on.
And people are still picking.
Yeah. So it's interesting.
Plants are loaded.
Well, we did that. Yeah, that section of beans, we tend to do less plantings, larger plantings. And that the reason is if you're planting every 2 weeks, you're pulling the seeder out every 2 weeks, the beds every 2 weeks. So we do bigger plantings. So we did a pretty sizable planting. And the other thing we're looking for too, we'd like to do is stagger with different varieties. So start with jade and then be able to go to another variety. But we really haven't loved the other varieties we've got.
You got jade in Providence?
No, we've jade, red tail, and what's the other one from Johnny's? They're all 3 from Johnny's, so I can tell you what varieties they are. I think I wrote them down. Seeds, I've got pictures of green beans. Red tail.
Provider.
We do not grow provider.
We do not grow provider.
It gets too fat too fast.
Oh, okay.
Jade, and then Seychelles. I think maybe we did grow that one.
That looks familiar.
No, affirmed. We grew affirmed.
Affirmed.
Yeah,
That's why it felt so encouraging out in the bean field.
So that was the second one we grew. So the if you're standing on this side of the bean patch, the left side is jade. Affirmed is the middle.
Oh, gotcha.
And then red tail was the far
next to the purple.
Okay,
that makes sense.
I mean, all 3 of them produced a really nice bean,
mm-hmm.
heavy yielding.
I still think the jade is
the longer.
Yeah.
And so if you pick them younger, they're nicer quality bean.
What was the purple bean?
That one was amethyst.
Amethyst?
Yes.
Okay.
And it was fine.
They're so pretty.
Yeah. I mean, the problem is we used to grow a lot of, Johnny's doesn't carry it anymore. Maxi Bell. They do carry it. We used to grow Maxi Bell, which is a really thin bean, French style bean. But out here, our customers just won't pay extra for them. They are a nice bean and they're nice and thin and tender, and people would pay more money for them at our stand back in New York. But here in Ohio, no.
Most people want half runners.
No, a very small vocal subset of our customers want half Ferner
That's
beans.
true. We get phone calls every year about half
And
ferns.
we've pretty much stopped them because I just tell them I don't grow them and I'm not going to deal with them.
We don't like them. We don't grow them.
Yeah.
Because guess who has to eat all the beans?
So James is asking, South Carolina, any chance I'm buying elderberry cuttings from you for fall planting? We really don't do them in the fall. We do bare roots, so we will be lifting our bare roots here when the leaves drop, which will be probably October, November, because our elderberries don't lose their leaves till pretty late. So, and we're still busy in November getting things. So there is a possibility we could get some to you in December, James. But yeah, our first going to be your best thing in the fall is going to be to get bare roots from us. They're a little bit more expensive, but they're a much bigger plant, so they're gonna yield for you much quicker. So that's, again, I like those. They're robust. They got an intact root system and all of that as well for you. Yeah. Spaced about 2 inches apart. That's going to be best. Yeah, we do. And a lot of people don't like to thin things. I mean, we never thin carrots because carrots will always just push each other apart. And up in Canada, I mean, they grow 2-inch solid bands of carrots. So, I mean, they put a ton of carrot seeds down per foot, and they do really, really well. But beets definitely need to be spaced. Turnips, we don't worry about it. Radishes, we typically don't worry about it. I mean, there is a point. You don't want more than X number per foot because they just can't. But you can vary those the seeds per foot widely on those and still get away with it. Beans are another one of those. If you put more seeds per row, they will just put less beans per plant, and so it's a little bit more pain to pick them. So what we end up doing is we end up trying to, we don't want to seed super thick. We will leave some spacing and stuff because those plants will just open up and fill right out. There's a specific terminology for that. I'm trying to remember what that is. I mean, like a head of lettuce. Some heads of lettuces will get a little bit bigger. But in all honesty, you get one head of lettuce from that. So, but yeah, beans are one of those that will, the further you space it apart, the plant will just fill in and get bigger and higher yield. Brenda says, when should we contact you about elderberry cutting for spring planting? Actually, I think you can go ahead and order online right now. And it's just listed as a pre-order that you won't get it till the spring. Right now, we are shipping fall, obviously garlic, onion sets. So we've got garlic right now. We are tomorrow releasing a sale email, which has bulk garlic in it. So if you order enough poundage, you can get it as cheap as $16 a pound. We also have some fall planted lavender starts too. So again, they're pretty small, but the price point is
that
great.
What Simon brought in?
Yeah, that's what he brought in. Yes, we ship those to the mail right to your door. And what else are we offering? I think we still have some soft neck garlic as well. So,
are you all sold out of strawberries?
Oh yes, we've been sold out of strawberries for a while. But I mean, the goal with strawberries is obviously we produce a lot of strawberry plugs. We sold out again this year. I think we're going to be okay for most people that have orders in. We're looking pretty good on that. We had some challenges with some of our later varieties, so we're a little worried about the folks that ordered Brilliance and Sensation. But we'll keep you updated on that. As Brilliance, we are particularly worried about. I will let you guys know that we're seeing some pretty poor take in those trays. What happened is our provider, we asked for 3 shipments to us, spaced out about every 3 weeks. And what they did is they delayed our first shipment, and then they sent our second and third shipment together, which really meant that we were sitting on tips for about 3 to 4 weeks. And before we got them in the ground, they just weren't happy. And specifically, Brilliance, that one variety. All the other varieties, I mean, like Camino Real, Ruby June, Chandler, you couldn't even tell they've been sitting there that long. They looked fabulous. But these Florida varieties just do not like the cold. And so they really suffered in the greenhouse.
That makes sense for a Florida variety, doesn't
so, yeah, so that's what we ended up with though. So we are a little concerned about that. We will keep people updated on that, but we are, we know we are going to have some challenges around that. We always do buy extra and we undersell just to give us some leeway. But I feel like this year we've had with the 90-degree heat day after day after day, we've had a few more challenges than we'd like to see in the greenhouse.
But no disease.
But yeah, no disease. Plants look clean, beautiful. I'd say some of the nicest plants we've ever produced. Our plants in the field look the nicest they ever have. So yeah, they've already taken. They're already putting out brand new leaves, and we're pretty excited about the 2026 season. So I actually had a lady just call us on the phone just to tell us that she got her plants that look gorgeous, and she was so excited to plant them.
If only all the phone calls were that pleasant.
yes, but no, she was super
What
sweet.
a sweetheart.
Yes, that was
Thank
nice
you,
for her to
sir,
do that.
man.
So, all right, folks, we really appreciate you all hanging out with us tonight. It's been an hour, and we're going to move on to our next things. But yeah, thanks for hanging out with us. Hopefully we answered your questions. I thought we did have a talk on like winter growing and like winter gardening, growing, stuff like that. So if we find that, we'll go ahead and try to post that for you all so you can get an idea of exactly some of the crops we do into the deep winter, and we go on from there. So, all right. Thanks, everyone. You guys have a wonderful night.